You gotta put tangerines on your ears. Oh, what do you know? Not telling you yet.
Yeah.
You gotta buy it.
Yeah. Sorry, Lloyd, you were going to say something quite average. Go on.
We're just a couple of business anchors. Welcome to the Business Anchors podcast. This jingle is slightly too long. This jingle is slightly too long.
Welcome to episode 29 of the Business Anchors podcast, the show where two business owners discuss the weird world of business. Today we're critiquing a controversial figure in the world of business, Gary Vaynerchuk. And we'll probably have a laugh about how cringy I was when I met him for the first time. Won't we? Probably, Dan?
Yeah, I had planned to talk about that.
Did you? Well, I didn't even bother putting it in my notes because I assumed you would bring that up. So we have... I think this is the first time we've focused a podcast on a person.
Yeah.
Other than them all being focused around you, Dan, because you're so important and such a marketing influencer.
Who is Gary Vaynerchuk?
Who is? Well,
I reckon, right, okay.
Yeah.
What percentage of listeners now do you think know who he is? Because all your mates listen, some of my mates listen, they probably won't.
no, my friends will.
Oh, they will? Oh, okay.
From conversations from when we started the business, when we used to...
But were they listening in those conversations? Cause
yeah,
I nod off when
think,
you're talking.
Oh.
Go on, sorry, what percentage?
I reckon from this podcast, 83% of people will know who Gary Vaynerchuk is out of our listeners.
Right, let's just figure it out. If you know Gary, put your hand up now.
Okay,
yeah, that's about 83, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, in our live audience of 1,000, I think that was about 832.
But it's COVID time, so we went. Why are we doing that?
No, I was just having a laugh then. Anyway, so for the 17% of you that don't know who Gary V is, just off the top of my head, Gary Vaynerchuk, born Gennady Vaynerchuk, was born on November 14, 1975.
Right. Okay.
Belarusian? How do you say it? I can't. Belarusian? Belarusian?
You should know.
American entrepreneur, author, speaker, and internet personality. He is a co-founder of the restaurant reservation software company Resi and Empathy Wines. First known as a wine critic who expanded his family's wine business, Vaynerchuk is now more known for his work in digital marketing and social media. Relevant. As the chairman of New York-based communications company VaynerX and is CEO of VaynerX, subsidiary of VaynerMedia. That's just off the top of my head.
How did you remember all that?
I used to be, quite a fan.
Used to be a memory person.
Read some books. Yeah, used to be a memory person.
That was really good.
Yeah,
thank you.
That's all right.
So, okay, that's who he is. When did you first hear about him?
Well, did we start our business about 6 years ago?
Yeah.
6-ish years ago. I first heard of Gary V when you first kind of got into starting the business before I was involved, and basically just revolved your life around his.
It is ridiculous when you look back. I did become a bit obsessed.
If he said, what you got to do, man, is you got to... Oh, he doesn't talk like that at all. You got to put tangerines on your ears, and then you'll be good at business. Dan will walk in the next morning. You right? What's that? Tangerines on my ears.
But we are taking the piss a bit, but he genuinely, I think what we learnt from him, especially in that first part of starting the business, I think completely shaped how where it had to get us to where we are today. I think it's had a lot less impact in the last few years, but I think definitely the first part from his books and his content.
For those of you
and his
who
podcast.
don't know, obviously he, as I read in the intro, as I reminded you from my memory in the intro to who he is, he's obviously a successful business person, involved in lots of different businesses, and he's basically an influencer online as well. So he uses his stuff that he knows to do with business and things he learns and stuff, and shares everything basically, and that's why he's got such a big
I think that's
following.
What stands him apart, his mantra of giving everything away for free, all of his knowledge, all of his best tips, and that's what's helped him. He was like one of the first people to kind of coin that way of doing things. Back
in the day when Dad Knowlton, our kind of business mentor, much more traditional business background, Dan was like, I'm going to share everything, because he just watched a video that said share everything. And it was that battle at the start of Dad, like, well, no, you need to build up this knowledge, and that's what you sell to people. And so, going down that route, it's kind of like, hi, Mr. Business, can you pay me to do some work? It's like, oh, what do you know? Not telling you yet.
Yeah.
You got to buy it.
Whereas we followed the giving everything away for free to draw people in, and then a lot of people realise they can't do it themselves and they need help.
Yeah.
And then that's where we come in.
And that is something that's continued with our business today.
Sorry.
Like, well, you're right.
Let's punch the mic.
Punch the mic.
Barney's really annoyed at me.
Okay. Sorry, everyone involved in producing this podcast for that mistake my brother's made.
Punch the mic for some reason. Sorry, Lloyd, you were going to say something quite average. Go on.
Oh, so average. I can't remember what I was going to say. Oh, no, that was it.
Sorry.
I was going to say that's like a theme that has continued from the start of our business, that I think we still believe in, that we don't have any secrets. Like this podcast, for example, we don't sit here and think, we don't have a discussion and go, well, we can't talk about all that stuff
because then we'll sell it to them at the end.
That. Yeah, we'll just talk about this stuff, and then we'll say to them, if you want to buy a course where we tell you the good stuff that we were going to mention in the podcast.
Yeah. Sign up to our webinar.
Yeah. So that's definitely something we agree with.
I think. Sorry.
No, go ahead.
No, go on, because I got Kerry told me off, one of our clients, for constantly interrupting you on the podcast, so I need to stop doing it.
Oh, well, this time I would like you to, and I'm really going to judge you on how good this point is you're going to make, just to check it was worthwhile.
I completely forgot what I was going to say, to be honest.
Okay, so there's a couple of things, Dan, moving this podcast forward in a positive direction.
Yeah.
And remembering what we're saying. There's obviously some stories we can tell of kind of our interaction with Gary Vaynerchuk over the years, and we can get back into that. But I think also I wanted to discuss kind of how I feel about his messaging in general, and whether other people listening to this podcast should listen to everything he's saying and stuff.
Yeah.
And then I thought it'd be fun towards the end of kind of looking at his key messaging and actually going through and saying,
what do we
would we agree with that, and is that what we'd recommend our listeners and other people to take to heart and really do? Is there anything that we'd be like, do not listen to him on this, it's bullshit, and anything in between, I guess?
And I guess we're also going to talk about what he tweeted about you on the 25th of June 2020, right? What? Do you not remember that?
Tweeted about me on the 25th of June? Literally
you. I went and looked through all the tweets because I remember him tweeting about you. Anyway, we'll reveal that later on in the podcast.
I do remember that, but I can't remember. That was only like 6 months ago. I just don't remember. Okay.
But yeah, this sounds good.
Cool. Okay. So first of all, can I give you my general? If people just want to listen to the next 5 minutes of the podcast because they're not that bothered, but just really want to
This is like the summary of your...
Yeah, this is the summary of everything that which is a terrible strategy for us recording a podcast to say, if you want to just listen to the main bit, listen to the next 5 minutes. But it's going to be so interesting. You'll be like, God, that guy Lloyd, I just wish I could listen to him more.
Go on then.
So, my opinion is, people's opinion on Gary V is mainly, oh my God, he's amazing. I'm going to put tangerines on my ears like yours.
Oh, please, editor, can we edit tangerines on my ears at some point in this episode?
Lucas will love tracking those on your ears.
Yeah.
Surprised when you just hear a loud no.
Yeah. Or, oh God, I just punched
the mic again.
This is going down.
Lloyd, we're professionals. Come on.
Or people that think it's just a load of bullshit. He's just an influencer trying to make money and get more followers online. He doesn't care, and it's just rubbish. And I don't think either of those are right. But I think he gives really good advice on about 10 to 20% of what it takes to actually build a successful business.
Yeah.
So I don't think people that just listen to him like, oh, I'm going to do that, and that only covers, like I said, I think 10 to 20%.
Yeah.
There's like 80 to 90% of business stuff you need to know that's really important that isn't interesting enough for someone trying to build a following online to listen to.
He doesn't do the detail bit, does he? He does the top level, like I feel like the top level thoughts and ideas and mantras, and he really kind of talks about those. But then when it comes to that other 80% of, right, now how do you do that?
Well, if you think about his goals as well, like he's trying to build this fortune and build all these businesses. So he's trying to build the biggest audience he can as possible. So him saying like, oh, you got to eat shit for 20 years, like he does.
Oh, that doesn't sound very nice.
And then you can whatever.
Yeah.
Like that's it. You think, oh, I got to eat shit. Oh, all right. Better listen to this. But he won't say like, oh, the number one rule in business is make sure you have brilliant procedures in place to chase late payments for invoices.
Yeah.
Because obviously, no one's going to give a shit if
Have
he
you been
says
eating
that.
shit?
Do I need some chewing gum?
Sorry, no joke. No, you're exactly right.
So
You're
I think
exactly
you've got to
right.
understand where his motives. He's not gonna. His thing is, and I'm gonna give 100% the most accurate and best business advice to my followers.
Yeah.
His thing is,
It's the
I'm
mindset
growing
thing.
my audience and stuff, and this is what does that.
Yeah.
And that can be good advice, but yeah, he's not gonna say, oh, focus on those lead indicators to forecast your income.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that sounds
That's
rubbish and
not
boring.
yeah. I find that stuff fun, but it's
Yeah.
not as...
Yeah, but you wouldn't if you had a strategy of building a massive following online to get attention for your businesses. That's not what you'd be putting out on Instagram.
So how has your opinion of him changed over the years? Because I don't think you would have said this 5 years ago. I certainly wouldn't have.
No.
But I am agreeing with you. I'm nodding along as you're talking.
Like when I had the tangerines on my ears,
Editor,
about
Lucas, edit them on.
about 6 months after you did. I think because coming from a position of naivety, starting a business, and we're relatively naive now. Like, you know, we'll be naive now compared to when we've been in business 20 years.
Yeah.
But coming from that point in the first year or two, you don't know what you don't know. So he's giving this advice in the area that he has, like I said, 10 to 20% of what you need to know for business. And so I just thought that was all you need to know. I thought, this is brilliant. He's basically just telling you exactly what you have to do to build
Provide value.
a successful business.
Hustle.
Yeah.
Be patient.
But I still think he provides some really valuable lessons and I think he's a good person. I genuinely do.
Yeah.
And I think he's a good person to listen to in a lot of cases. But I don't think he's God anymore.
Yeah. Well, the tangerines have gone off your ears now.
Yeah.
I think the trouble I see a lot of people, and I fell into this trap facing, is you listen to what he's saying so much that you try and become him. Like I remember when I used to speak at events when I had tangerines in my ears, and people ask questions and I just regurgitate stuff that he'd said because I thought that was like the answer, and everyone was like, yeah, this is brilliant. But I also see it with a lot of other entrepreneurs just copying everything he's doing. And yes, you can learn a lot to get to a certain point, but you really need to differentiate yourself from, and where I feel like we really started to progress was when we actually listened to other people other than just him. Yes, I think it's important to try and get advice from other people because you fall into the trap of just becoming a Gary V wannabe, and I definitely was one of those in the early days.
A Gary Vaynerchuk.
Yeah. But we went to his book signing, didn't we?
Yeah.
Me, you, and Dad.
Yeah.
Do you remember that? That was actually really good.
Yeah, it was really good. It's got positives and negatives in my eyes.
Why? What's the negatives, Lloyd? I'm interested to hear
we've
what
already
your...
talked about it on the podcast
Well,
back
go
in the
on,
early
what?
episodes. Well, just that I stood up and asked him a question. Well, no, I was supposed to stand up and ask him a question, but I just shouted, "I'm wearing a suit," and no one,
that doesn't give enough context for people to understand.
But can you understand it? There's not like logic,
I think
is there?
you put your hand up to ask a question, and I think you probably got quite nervous because he chose you, and you stood up and you didn't know what you were going to say, and your question went out your head, and you ended up just saying, "I'm wearing a suit." It's really embarrassing when you watch the clip back.
I physically can't. I found that the clip's still
There's
online.
a video of that.
Yes.
Lucas.
There is.
Oh, can we get?
That's got to go in.
Yeah.
Oh, but then I can't watch or listen to the podcast.
Oh no, let's put the audio of that in now.
Hi Gary, it's Lloyd from Sky Blue Customer Service Experts.
How are you?
I'm good, thank you. I'm good. I'm wearing my suit and hopefully I get noticed. Noticed suit.
You wore a suit to get noticed because you thought a lot of the other people wouldn't wear a suit?
No, it's a checked suit, so I thought maybe someone would pass the mic to me because I'm wearing an unusual suit.
I think you were right.
Yeah, thank you, Gary.
You're a fucking growth hacker.
Thank you very much. Thank you. No one else thought that.
Oh, that was good, wasn't it?
Oh, that was cringy. I know I'm pretending like we've just listened to or watched that,
But you're thinking about it, aren't
but
you?
I I won't have listened to or watched it because I can't physically do it. I've even got to the point where I'm just in the video where I'm just about to speak, and then I have to turn it off and just like have a cold shower.
Yeah. Oh wow.
Yeah. That's.
Well, that was an interesting first meeting with Gary Vee, wasn't it?
What you said about something about him tweeting me in June. I can't remember what.
So, have a guess. On where was it? Sorry, on June 25th, 2020. He said Lloyd something, and this was to you. It wasn't just a random Lloyd.
Lloyd's got a great tash.
No. Lloyd's wearing a suit. No, you told him that already.
It might be that, yeah. Lloyd, you still wearing a suit?
No, do you want to know what he said?
Lloyd is great.
He said, Lloyd, I love you.
Did he?
Yeah.
Why did he love me in June?
Because I posted the cringy clip of you standing up saying how embarrassing it was.
Oh.
And I think he sort of felt sorry for you on Twitter and said, Lloyd, I love you.
No, he didn't feel sorry for me. He just genuinely loves me.
Yeah.
Oh, get those tangerines out.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, interesting. So he loves me. Cool. That's funny as well, because if he tweeted me in 2016 saying, Lloyd, I
you
love
would
you,
have printed it and put it on your wall.
yeah, and we probably would have created videos about that tweet for the next couple of months. This is how you get a tweet saying, Lloyd, I love you from Gary Vaynerchuk. 5 simple steps. Whereas now, I just think, oh, that was nice of him to send that.
Yeah.
Great. Thank you, Gary.
Do you watch any of his content now?
No, I
do you none?
literally zero.
I'm the same.
Oh, really?
Which is weird.
But I find this with everyone I watch or listen to learn from, or even things for entertainment. I think it kind of goes in cycles.
Yeah.
Like I think it's very rare that there'll be someone that you kind of watch or follow or listen to for a lifetime.
Yeah.
It's kind of like people that are appropriate to you at a certain point in your life. Because I probably watched and listened to loads of Gary V's stuff for about 3 years.
Yeah, like every day and night.
And like Casey Neistat, I watched like everything
Don't watch
he
any of
did
his stuff anymore,
for probably 2 years when I was the kind of practitioner actually doing the video stuff within the business hands on. It was just me.
And you fancied them.
And I fancied who?
Casey Neistat and Gary Vee.
Yes, and that. Yeah. Yes. Cool. Yeah, I was watching everything Casey Neistat did for a couple of years, and then kind of my role within the business and what I do in my life changed, and that became less relevant and interesting to me. So, yeah, I think it's quite normal.
I definitely think you go through cycles. I find that with everyone I'm following, you watch them for a bit, and people probably find that with our podcast. There's probably people that are just on the brink of getting sick of us, so this will probably be the last one they listen to.
Yeah,
until they hear what next week's episode.
We're just reminding them now that like. Yeah,
won't listen to that again.
Yeah, probably won't bother with that. Listen to something else. Don't know. I was going to say something funny. Couldn't think of it. Cool. Another reason not to listen.
This is such
Remember when Lloyd used to be funny?
Do you want to hear something sad?
No.
Okay, carry on.
Cool.
No, go on. Just carry on.
No,
just carry on. Go on.
You want me to carry on?
Yeah.
Okay. So let's. That was weird. Let's critique some of his key advice now. Okay. So I'm going to say some stuff, and you tell me if it's great advice, shit advice, or in the middle advice.
Should we actually come up with good names for different tier, like a tier thing?
Okay. Cool. Like great advice,
shit advice, middle advice.
Yeah. Cool. Okay.
Great shit, middle.
Ready?
Oh wait, great middle shit. That's the order. Cool.
How'd you work that out? You ready?
Yeah.
I'll do my best Gary Vee impression.
Focus on your passion.
Middle.
Okay. Why?
I think that I would be, when I had tangerines in my ears, I would be absolutely screaming this from the rooftops. Because I believe it.
Focus on your passion. Like that?
Yeah. I believe it in a sense, because from my experience, to have success in running a business, you need to invest significantly more time in it than if you were employed in a business. And to make that time to motivate yourself to invest that time. If you enjoy what you do and you're passionate about it, it makes it easier and it feels like you're not working all the time.
Mm-hmm.
However, not everything you're passionate about has a feasible business around it. Eating peanut butter. Yes, you could create a YouTube channel about peanut butter, potentially make some revenue from it, get sponsored. But the likeliness of you building a business around eating peanut butter is very low. So I guess it's important to manage your expectations of, if you're passionate about taking the piss out of me, are you going to build a business around that, Lloyd?
I don't think I could.
Yeah, so that's what I mean. So it's good when it works, there's potential and there's demand for a potential business around what you do. But I think it's kind of pulling the wool over people's eyes if they think they're just passionate about something, they can build a business around it.
I guess
what do you think?
In reality, you can make money around anything. So peanut butter, yes, you can. But I guess there's only a certain amount of people that care enough about peanut butter to, and yes, you could become a peanut butter distributor.
Yeah.
And make a business around that. But does that actually fit the skills you have? And actually being passionate about peanut butter and then having a warehouse full of it and working out logistics of sending peanut butter around the country.
Start to get less passionate about it.
Yeah. It's like, are you passionate about logistics and lorries?
As long as I've got peanut butter in them, then
yeah. That's what I mean. It kind of takes it away, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It's like, oh, I love forecasting the costs I have to pay for staff to move peanut butter.
Yeah.
No one is passionate about that, are they?
Yeah. But I guess if you go down the tangent of building an audience who consume your content and then getting sponsored like a YouTuber, I guess that sticks more in the realms of you do focus most of your energy on that passion, but there is still other skills, like you say, you need to understand your income, how are you forecasting that, how are you managing your costs.
Crunchy or smooth?
Crunchy.
Yeah, me too.
Good, cool.
Cool. Next one.
Go on.
Oh, sorry, do you want to go?
I've got some, but you go on.
Go for it.
I can't do his voice, so I'm just going to say...
Neither can I.
I don't want to embarrass myself like you. Skills are cheap, passion is priceless.
Skills are cheap, passion is priceless. This is obviously post Lloyd's Gary V days, because I don't remember saying. Skills are cheap, passion is priceless. So is the thinking behind that you can learn like how to do different things, but you can't learn to be passionate?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. There's.
We didn't. you didn't rate the last one. Which tier? I said middle. You didn't say what you thought.
What was it? I've already forgotten.
Passion something.
Focus on your passion.
Yeah.
Focus on your passion.
Quickly, just what?
Yeah. Shit.
Okay. Cool.
Okay.
Sorry. This one.
What one are we talking about?
Such a good podcast. Skills are cheap. Passion is priceless.
Skills are cheap. Passion is priceless.
Tier it.
Tier it. I'd say shit.
I'd say shit.
Because I think it just sounds like something that you go, what's a phrase that we can just put on Instagram?
Yeah.
Skills. Oh yeah, that's rather than what's genuinely good advice. Yeah.
Go on. Yours.
Okay. Stop giving a fudge what other people think.
I'd say it's kind of shit because I think I'd tier it as shit because I think it's misleading.
Okay.
I think I like the sort of idea around if you focus too much energy on other people's opinions, it can take you to a really negative place because you're looking for external kind of recognition.
Yeah.
But also, I think it is important to listen to feedback from, if I was just internal and doing stuff and not listening to your feedback or anyone else's, then I would just...
I think it's good, but
Do you think it's good?
Yeah, I do, but I would rephrase it as stop giving a fudge what most people think.
Oh, okay.
Because I think in growing a business and probably just in life, what 95% of people think about what you're doing doesn't matter at all. Probably 99%. But I would want to be listening to people that have been there and done it with what I've already done. People that are more experienced than me that can give me advice. If you just said, if someone's done something for 20 years that you want to achieve, why would you say, doesn't matter what they think?
Yeah.
It's like, it does matter what they think. And you don't have to listen to 100% of it, but it definitely matters.
Yeah.
So I think it's good because it's almost a good piece of advice, I think, but just with that kind of caveat of don't just ignore everyone, because then you're probably going to be a bit of a dick. And
so you're going to go good.
Yeah.
I'll go shit with that.
Okay.
I'll stick to my guns.
Okay. Cool.
You can market your ass off, but if your product sucks, you're dead.
Yeah.
I'd
think
say that's good.
Yeah. I think.
So what does that mean, Lloyd?
You can market your ass. Say it again,
You
please.
can market your ass off, but if your product sucks, you're dead.
Yeah. So in marketing, in our world of marketing, I think we can sell anything if we put enough work into it. But that's the short-term sale.
Yeah.
So we could sell say one of Gary V's books.
Yeah.
We could sell that to loads of people if we wanted to. If it's rubbish,
Or if it's blank inside when people open it.
people are going to feel negative about him, think it's rubbish, return it, or if they don't return it, they're never going to buy anything from him and react negatively to anything they see in him online. If it's good, completely changes it, and they want to buy more stuff. They want to follow him. They want to tell people about him. So basically, because this is part of our kind of critiquing process with who we work with in our business.
I was going to say that.
It's a big decision for us. It's not just are you willing to pay us money for our services?
It was when we started.
Yeah. When you're desperate to work with anyone.
But now it's not, is it?
But now it's kind of like, and us being much more honest with those businesses. It's like, if people have proven products or services or whatever that we can see people love, then it's going to be easy to be successful working with them long term, because we're like, you've got the great stuff. We're great at getting it to the right people and making you money.
Way,
Whereas if someone's like, I've got this rubbish product, got loads of negative reviews online.
Not many people have bought it. Can you
But
sell it for me?
I know you guys are really good at selling stuff and marketing stuff. It's like, yeah, we could sell quite a lot of them, but
Do we want to be...
firstly, like kind of ethically, my goal in our business is...
Make the most money?
Yeah. is, you know, that the win-win-win-win thing we've said about in the past.
What,
So
treble win?
So we want us to be doing well, our clients that we're marketing for, but also the people they're selling to, their customers. We want them to be happy as well. The best clients we work with are when all of those people are happy at the end of it. And that's, I think, the key to long-term success.
I think we even said this about, not going to mention any specific clients, but a recent sort of campaign we're working on, and it's going really, 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 really well, and it's trying to understand why is it going extremely well, what boxes is that client ticking, and how can we try and find other clients that tick similar boxes. And I'm currently pitching for another project where I can see those boxes being ticked, and it's I'm now with my sales sort of side of the business trying to focus on how can we find more of those that are that type of business that we can really get our teeth into.
Because I think when we're working with people, we're looking at the money that people are putting into ads for their content to sell whatever they're selling. And like normally, if you were putting £1 in, every £1 you spent, you were getting £8 worth of sales. You'd be like, bloody hell, that's good. But like with this most recent one, at times we're getting £20 worth of sales for every £1 we're putting in. And you've got to look at that and think, there has to be a lot of things going well for that to work out. There can't be like, 80% of this is working. That's got to be and that is the business's products are great. Their customer service is great. There's a demand for them. They've been working hard to make sure they've got a great business and great products. And then we've been working hard to make sure we've got a great business and are good at what we do, and coming together.
I think if you've currently got an e-commerce business that sells products, and you've proven that you can sell products already and there's demand for it, and you're not working with us, you should be.
Yeah, that's good. That's a bit of an ad in there.
But I just think it's a no-brainer, because we've got so many great examples of that type of business absolutely killing it for them. That you should be working with us anyway.
Yeah.
So to give us another Gary V quote.
Patience.
Good. What was the top level? Was it good?
Great, I think.
Great. Yeah, I'd say that's great.
Yeah, I think so too. I think all the successes in our business have taken work that doesn't look like that it's successful in the short term.
Yeah. And then you need the patience.
If we didn't have the patience and we're looking for short-term results, we wouldn't have got any of the business growth.
Hence
and good
why
results.
I think I was on a podcast yesterday and I mentioned our 2030 plan, and the guy kind of gasped because it's so far away. But I think it's that long-term thinking that helps.
That's why I know we're going to be successful in building the business to where we want it to be in 2030, because taking all of our decisions are based on how to get there.
in 10 years.
Like the personal decisions of taking money out of the business. I don't even feel like, oh, this is rubbish that we're leaving the money in the business to invest in
rather than
new
buying
staff
some
and
nice
new
cars
equipment and new. I just feel good about it because I know that it's getting us there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
Cool.
Do you want any more?
Hustle.
Okay, final one. We'll do this as the final one.
Hustle.
What
You got to do, you got to hustle.
I think that's medium,
Okay.
because I think
That's good. You haven't been hustling enough, mate.
I think that the negative thing about Gary, one of the biggest things he's known for is saying about hustle, work, you get home, you work from 9 p.m. till 1 in the morning, you have 4 hours sleep, then wake up early. I think...
Or now he values sleep more, I think.
Okay, now he values sleep more. But when I had tangerines in my ears, I was waking up at 3 in the morning and because he told me to. But I think it's important to know that to be successful, from my experience, you need to put a lot of effort in. You need to put additional time in, not just a standard 9-to-5 job. I think if we look at us, I know now we're more heading towards trying to have a good balance. But when you look at the first bit, it was a lot of extra hours and stuff, and you need to put that extra time in. However, I don't think it's healthy for people to not have a balanced lifestyle and be putting all that time in, but then hating every other element of their life.
Yeah.
And I think you've been thinking this for a while, but I'm a lot more on that side of things now that you've sort of rubbed off on me.
Yeah. Yeah. Without a doubt.
Are you
I think
which tier?
I go in the middle as well, basically.
Copying me.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I am. I agree with everything you said. I think there was the mantra around the time when you were really into Gary Vee that it's like, well, if you're not as successful as you want to be, you've got between 9 p.m. and 2 a.m. What are you doing? And it's kind of like, yeah, for a week you could work on stuff 9 p.m. till 2 a.m. But I'd say probably from day 4 you'll be a terrible person to be around, and you won't be happy.
Yeah.
Well, I know for me personally, I certainly couldn't. I struggle. You probably think I'm rubbish, but if I do 12-hour days, I can do 2 of those in a row and be okay. Probably if I did 3 even 12-hour days, like
you get a bit
8 till 8,
grouchy, you get a bit tired, don't you?
I'd get tired and be rubbish at my job and my home life.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, I know that for me personally, I can't function like that.
Yeah.
So why would I try? Because I know it's going to be worse for everyone
You're a
involved.
way nicer person when you're not doing that.
Yeah.
Knowing from someone who spends most of my life with you.
You sound a bit scared thinking back in times when I'm tired.
No, because you have...
Please sleep.
I don't remember... You actually haven't got a kind of grouchy and moody in quite a while. That used to be a thing when you'd sort of be... But no, which is a good thing.
Yeah, I used to get more, not necessarily even just when I was tired. Like, I think I wasn't as comfortable and confident in the success of our business in previous years. So if something went wrong, I would really, especially if it's something that you did that went wrong, I'd just be a dick to you.
Yeah.
I
remember.
Yeah. But now I know, like if a mistake's made, something goes wrong, it's like, oh, that's gone wrong. That's rubbish. Let's not do that again. But we can figure something out. Yeah. Cool. Okay. Anything more to say on Gary Vaynerchuk, Dan?
No, other than this clip of me with Gary Vee.
Let's get into the show!
That was good, wasn't it?
That was good. What was it again that we just saw
It was-
or listened to?
Let's get into the
show. Ah, okay.
Yeah.
That would have been good for the start of the podcast.
Oh,
Wouldn't
yeah.
it? Great. And
What?
if you comment, if you definitely plan this. If you leave a review with the word Gary in it, the best one will send you a Gary V book of your choice.
Cool.
Cool.
So to the one person that does it, you've got a free book.
Yeah, exactly. All you have to do is say Gary. Nice.
Yeah, we'll see you next week.
See you next week.